What if the house that should give you peace of mind would turn against you? Once a sanctuary, a place where you returned each evening to the gentle comfort of family and faith, now becoming the source of your deepest fears. You need to focus with me, because this story will blow your mind. It's not just some ghost tale. It's rooted in real events that happened in the Middle East, backed by documented cases, official investigations, and countless eyewitness accounts. For A.S.H, a municipal clerk living near Taif with his wife Fatima and their 2 young daughters, life had always been defined by routine and quiet devotion. His days began just before dawn, stirred by the call to prayer, when he would prepare kahwa for his wife and daughters, send the girls off to school, and walk to his office where he handled local permits with steady hands and a calm mind. Evenings were no less familiar. The family gathered for Maghrib prayers, shared meals seasoned with laughter and stories, and settled into homework and bedtime rituals under the warm glow of lamps scented with oud. This rhythm, simple yet reassuring, was all he knew. But beginning in 2011, that sense of safety began to unravel. At first, it was subtle. A pot inexplicably falling from the stove without a sound, faint tendrils of smoke flickering down the hallway and vanishing when investigated. These anomalies might have been dismissed as quirks of an aging house, if not for what followed. Small fires sparking in the living room curtains, pillows scorched as if by a phantom flame, always after sunset, and always disappearing before anyone could catch them. Civil defense inspected the house countless times, combing through wiring, plumbing, and gas lines, but each investigation ended without answers, the mystery deepening as the damage mounted. Over several years, these fires cost the family more than 400,000 Saudi riyals, over $100,000, in destroyed furniture and appliances, an invisible assault that consumed their possessions while leaving no trace of cause. Who or what was doing this? How could flames ignite without accelerants, without sparks, without explanation? The physical toll on A.S.H and his family grew equally disturbing. He awoke with mysterious blisters and bruises, doctors unable to explain the marks shaped like ancient symbols that appeared overnight on his hands and arms. Fatima suffered a blistered patch on her scalp, burned as though by a hot iron, a painful echo of the sinister forces at work. One harrowing day, while driving their family car, smoke suddenly engulfed the cabin. Flames erupted without warning, nearly trapping them inside before they escaped unscathed but shaken. Police and fire investigators found no mechanical faults, no accelerants, no cause beyond what many whispered was a jinn's curse. Before we dive deeper, you need to understand what you're really up against. The jinn, invisible to the naked eye, these ancient beings are woven into the very fabric of Arabian law and Islamic belief. They're not ghosts or spirits, but a separate creation, made of smokeless fire, capable of walking between worlds, unseen, yet ever present. Some are benign, even helpful, but others are anything but friendly. They can possess, torment, and haunt, twisting reality and bending the rules of nature. Imagine something living right alongside you, invisible, watching, waiting for a moment to strike, a force so elusive that science struggles to explain its existence, yet so real that entire families have fled their homes in terror. These are not tales told to frighten children. These are warnings passed down through generations. And for A.S.H, the nightmare began when this unseen enemy claimed his home as its hunting ground. Why had this darkness settled on their home, choosing them? As fear tightened its grip, the family called in more than a dozen Reiki, Islamic spiritual healers, to perform Quranic recitations and cleansing rituals. Though these prayers brought moments of respite, the disturbances only grew. Whispered voices in unfamiliar tongues, scratching sounds beneath floorboards, lights flickering even during prayers, and shadows slipping just beyond the edge of vision. Sleep became a battleground. Something unseen tugged at blankets, thumped on walls, and filled the night with humming so low it resonated in the chest. A.S.H himself sometimes collapsed, muttering a chilling phrase over and over,
"Leave us."
Despite moving rooms, rearranging furniture, and installing cameras, the house refused to relent. When a final devastating fire consumed the kitchen, flames spiraling with deliberate, eerie motion, local clerics delivered their verdict. The home was inhabited by a non-human presence, and it had to be abandoned. That night, The family fled barefoot under the moonlight, carrying only the clothes on their backs. As they crossed the threshold for the last time, the youngest daughter swore she saw a shapeless figure watching from the upstairs window. After their departure, the fires ceased, but a lingering coldness and strange scent haunted the new tenants, as if the house itself held on to its dark secrets. This ordeal was far from isolated. Across Saudi Arabia, documented cases tell similar stories. In 2008 and 2014, flats in Medina burned without cause. In 2014, homes in Al-Qunfuda were cleansed of mysterious flames. In 2001, a Riyadh family's home caught fire 5 times in 70 days, always after sunset. And in 2012, nearly 300 ghost hunters descended on Riyadh's abandoned Irka hospital, reporting cold spots, strange lights, and voices. Social media platforms from 2023 to 2025 teem with accounts of white orbs caught on CCTV, shadowy figures glimpsed in hallways, and intense episodes of sleep paralysis marked by pressure on the chest and whispered names. Even geographic oddities like the famous Wadi al-Jinn, where cars appear to roll uphill, fuel legends of supernatural interference despite scientific explanations. Saudi Arabia's religious police, the Haya, established an anti-witchcraft unit in 2009, documenting over 580 cases by 2011 and enforcing harsh penalties on suspected sorcery, highlighting the seriousness with which these phenomena are treated. Fire experts in neighboring countries often dismiss these incidents as accidents or fraud. Yet in Saudi Arabia, the intersection of religion, culture, and personal testimony sustains a belief in jinn's very real presence. What keeps these spirits tethered? Why do they haunt some homes and not others? Could it be the past history of the land, the emotional energy of inhabitants, or something else entirely? Adding to the mystery, some families report objects moving on their own, unexplained footsteps echoing in empty rooms, and voices speaking languages unknown to any living soul. There are cases where recordings capture strange whispers that defy analysis, and CCTV footage reveals flickering lights or shadowy figures darting just beyond clear view. Sleep paralysis, a condition medically recognized, takes on a terrifying aspect when accompanied by visions of oppressive shapes pressing down on the chest, inducing fear and paralysis in its victims, often accompanied by the sensation of being watched or attacked by invisible entities. Throughout the kingdom, these phenomena are not merely dismissed as superstition, they are woven deeply into cultural narratives and religious beliefs, prompting families to seek help from spiritual healers who recite the Quran, sprinkle blessed water, and offer prayers for protection. Yet even these rituals sometimes fail or only delay the return of disturbances, raising profound questions about the limits of human intervention. As stories like A.S.H's persist, echoing across Saudi Arabia and beyond, reminding us that the boundaries between the natural and supernatural are sometimes fragile, and that some houses, no matter how ordinary they appear, hold darkness waiting patiently to return.